Welcome back. Foreign envoy called for political dialogue in South Sudan. The message came after ambassador from Germany, Japan, Norway, and the United States met by President Rebecca Nyandeng in Juba. The meeting took place on August 25, 2026. After the meeting, the four diplomats released a joint statement. They say South Sudan needs urgent political action. They called for genuine dialogue between political parties. They urged leaders to reject violence as a way of solving political disagreement, and they called for stronger accountability in government. But why are these foreign diplomats making this call now? Why is political dialogue becoming such an important issue? And how does this connect with the disagreement that have recently become public between Vice President Rebecca Nyandeng and the office of President Salva Kiir? Let us look at this story carefully. Before we proceed, please, I would like you to help the channel by subscribing, turn on the notification bell so whenever we upload a new video, you can be notified. The ambassador of four countries, Germany, Japan, Norway, and the United States, met Vice President Rebecca Nyandeng. Following that meeting, they released a joint statement. The diplomats said they discussed their shared hope for a peaceful and prosperous South Sudan. They also say that the people of South Sudan have waited too long to see that future. That statement carries a strong message. South Sudanese people have lived through years of political instability and conflict. Many citizens have seen their communities affected by fighting. Families have been separated. Young people have grown up in difficult conditions. Many people continue to struggle to find jobs and basic services. So, when foreign governments talk about peace and prosperity, they are speaking about the issue that directly affect ordinary citizens. One of the main points made by the four diplomats was the need for what they call authentic inter-party dialogue. Let us explain what that means. Political dialogue means political groups sitting together and discussing their differences. It does not mean everyone must agree. It does not mean one side must surrender. It means political disagreement should be handled through discussion instead of violence. This is especially important for South Sudan because the country has a long history of political disagreement turning into armed conflict. The diplomats are therefore saying that political leaders should find peaceful way to compete and solve their differences. This becomes even more important as the country moves toward election. South Sudan is currently preparing for election scheduled for December 22nd. The government has repeatedly presented the election as an important step toward ending the country's long transitional period. But election can be successful only when political actors are prepared to compete peacefully. Imagine two political groups competing for votes. One group said, "We have a better plan for the country." The other group said, "No, our plan is better." That is normal political competition. Citizens should then have the opportunity to listen to both sides and make their own choices. The problem is that when political competition turns into threat, violence, or intimidation. That is why dialogue is important before election. Political leaders need to know that they can disagree without taking the country back into conflict. The foreign ambassador also urged South Sudan's political leaders to reject violence as a method of political competition. This is an important message, by the way. Political power should not be gained through guns. Political disagreement should not be solved through army group. An election should not become a reason for communities to fight one another. A country becomes stronger when political leaders can challenge each other with ideas. If one politician believes if one politician believes another politician is wrong, they should explain why. They should present their own plan. They should speak to voters. They should use political institutions. Violence only creates more suffering. The diplomat also raised the issue of public revenue. They call for government revenue to be used to provide services and strengthen accountability. This is another issue that matters to ordinary South Sudanese. Citizens want to know how public money is being used. People want road, they want school, they want hospital, they want clean water, they want electricity, they want security, they want job and opportunities. When public money is not properly managed, the people suffer. That is why that's why accountability is important. Government officials should be able to explain how public resources are used, and citizens should be able to ask questions. The diplomat also connected public accountability with private investment, security, and the rule of law. This is an important point. Business usually need a stable environment. An investor who want to build a business need to know that the law will protect the business. They need security. They need predictable rules. They need functioning institution. They need confidence, and dispute can be resolved. That dispute can be resolved peacefully. If a country is unstable, business might be less willing to invest. That can mean fewer jobs. Fewer jobs can mean more frustration among young people, and economic frustration can make social problem even worse. So, political stability and economic development are connected. The diplomat says South Sudanese people have waited far too long for peace and prosperity. That statement reflects a reality that many South Sudanese understand. Independence created great expectation. People hoped the new country would bring peace and better opportunities. But political conflict and violence made that difficult. The country has faced civil war, political disagreement, displacement, and communal violence. Even today, many communities continue to face insecurity. That's why peace is not just a political slogan. For ordinary people, peace means being able to live a normal life. It means sending children to school without fear. It means farming without fear. It means traveling safely. It means doing business, going to work. It means sleeping peacefully at night. The timing of the diplomat statement is very important. It comes after an unusual public disagreement involving Vice President Rebecca Nyandeng and the presidency. Normally, a disagreement between senior political leaders may remain inside government, but this time, comment made publicly attracted attention. Nyandeng made remark during a requiem mass in Juba. The presidency later responded that public exchange has created question about political relationship inside the government. And now, foreign diplomats are public calling for dialogue. This does not necessarily mean the diplomats are taking side. The statement should be understood as a broader call for political engagement and peaceful competition, but the timing has certainly attracted attention. Let us go back to August 21st. Vice President Rebecca Nyandeng attended a requiem mass in Juba for veteran politician Kosti Manibe Nga. During her speech, she raised questions about the country's leadership. She compared the current country political environment with the period of the liberation struggles. She questioned whether today leaders receive the same kind of oversight and advice that existed around the late SPLM leader John Grindamabio. This was a significant comment. It touched on the question of leadership. It also raised question about how senior government officials work together. Rebecca Nyandeng also questioned the value of holding a senior government position if that position does not improve the life of ordinary citizens. This is a question that many people can understand. A government position is not supposed to be only a title. A minister, governor, vice president, or other senior official is expected to serve the people. People judge government by what they experience in their daily life. If roads remain poor, people notice. If hospital lack medicine, people notice. If young people cannot find job, people notice. If insecurity continue, people notice. So the question becomes, what is the purpose of political power if ordinary citizens do not see improvement? That is the kind of question Nyandeng raised. 2 days later, the presidency responded The response did not directly name Rebecca Nyandeng. However, it addressed issues that appear connected to a remark. The presidency defended President Salva Kiir's role in the liberation struggle. It also rejected the idea that the achievement of the liberation movement should be associated mainly with a small number of individuals. The president stressed that the liberation struggle was a collective effort. That is an important point in South Sudan's story. The struggle for independence involved many people: soldiers, politicians, civilian communities, families, supporters, and people who made sacrifices in different ways. The presidency therefore emphasized the collective nature of that story. The statement also emphasized President Salva Kiir's long story in the liberation movement. It described him as a senior member of the movement and a long-time comrade of John Garang. This was part of the presidency's response to questions surrounding the story of the liberation struggle. The response also rejected the suggestion that South Sudan has been left without experienced leaders simply because some figures from the liberation era have died or lived political life. The presidency message was that there are still experienced people capable of leading the country. After defending the president's historical role, the presidency turned its attention to the planned December election. The message was straightforward: those who believe the government has failed should take their argument to the people. In other words, political leaders who disagree with the government record should make their case to voters. The presidency emphasized that ordinary citizens should determine the country's political direction. This is an important question: will South Sudan coming election become a peaceful competition between different political ideas, or will political tension make the process more difficult? That is something the country will have to watch closely. The government position is not shared by everyone. Critics, including the Sudan People Liberation Movement in opposition or SPLM-IO, have questioned whether the conditions for credible election are fully in place. Some members of the international community have also raised questions about political and security conditions. These concerns do not automatically mean election cannot happen, but they show that there are still important issues to resolve. For election to be trusted, political actors need confidence in the process, citizens need confidence, candidates need confidence, and the public need to believe that political competition can happen safely. Security is one of the biggest concerns South Sudan continues to experience violence in different parts of the country. The recent fighting and communal clash show how quickly local tension can become deadly. If people do not feel safe, political participation becomes difficult. A person may be afraid to attend a political meeting, a candidate may be afraid to campaign in certain areas, and a community may be afraid to support a political group openly. That is why security and election cannot be separated. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.